What is up, Black Squad? Blackscape here, and today we finally have our answer as to why this manga panel right here, why this even exists. Why Goten and Trunks are able to go toe-to-toe, pushing perfected or controlled Legendary or Berserk Broly back. We have the answer, and it comes from an unexpected source, guys. So yes, we are going to be diving into Goten and Trunks and their standard fusion Gotenks, the future that holds, and what information we have today. Brand new information here, guys. But before I begin, let me know which one of the two characters do you prefer in Dragon Ball Super, because they both act completely different. Trunks or Goten? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, huge shout out to the Black Squad. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for liking the video and turning on subscriptions and all notifications. You guys are the best. Let's go ahead and jump in. So a few days ago, Sparking Zero came out with their trailer showing the fusion characters for the game. And showing the fusion characters, they faced them off against each other in a lot of different battles that really were kind of what we would have expected from the fusion characters, but there was two that were completely out of pocket, and for me brought up the question, is this reality? Who is stronger? And a lot of the fandom was asking the exact same thing: who could win in this fight? So I'm going to ask you guys this question before I show you the clip. Who would win in this fight? Gotenks or Kefla? Let me know in the comment section below. Roll the clip.
This fight? Yeah! Da, 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 da! Ready for this? Here you go! Time to get serious! Yeah! 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 Ah! No, shut your mouth! Let's see who the strongest one really is! Ha! I won't hold back then! Ha! Me! Ha! Me! Here goes! Ha! Goten! Ha! Ha! Cauliflower! No way we can lose if we fight together! What? Come on, Goten! Okay. Fusion! Ha! The great Gotenks is here to take you down! I can do it! I'll show you what I'm made of! Your opponent is the one and only Goten! Here we go! Take this! Ta-da! Rapid fire! Super donut! Super attack!
So upon first viewing, I thought whoever cut this fight in the Sparking Zero trailer or teaser, they are complete and utter haters to Caulifla and Kefla. Absolute haters, because if you answered that Kefla would lose against Gotenks, then you are delusional. In the footage that we saw, we see Goten and Trunks facing off against both Kale and Caulifla, both in Super Saiyan, facing off against each other, and both Goten and Trunks, they defeated Kale and Caulifla. Now, you could make an argument when they are teenagers in DBS Superhero, maybe they would have a shot of landing some good blows on the past Kale and Caulifla. Remember, Superhero takes place in the future, but to say that children can defeat adults in this way that are also Saiyans is complete and utter malarkey. Guys, Goten and Trunks as children cannot defeat Kale and Caulifla from the Torment of Power. From that level of power, they can absolutely not. Goten and Trunks can only go to Super Saiyan, if even that, and Kale and Caulifla both can go into, well, Caulifla can go into Super Saiyan 2, Kale can go into Berserker, and in the anime, she actually controls Berserk, so she gains the Super Saiyan transformation for the Berserk or Legendary form. Now, versing Gotenks versus Kefla, we come up to a very similar scenario. In the anime, Kefla is able to go toe-to-toe with Goku in his Omen form. Only Jiren could have done that in the Tournament of Power in the anime. That's how strong Kefla was. In the manga, Kefla is literally facing off against Gohan, who we now know is essentially close to being that beast transformation during that fight. He is that level of strength compared to Kefla. So that fight says more about how strong Gohan is than it does Kefla, because Gohan at that level is as powerful as Kefla is, and Kefla is incredibly strong. Gotenks in Super Saiyan more than likely was the same level of strength as Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, or even maybe Super Saiyan 2 Goku. At Super Saiyan 3, it's a completely different level of power, still does not even come close to how strong Kefla is. So now that we have that out of the way, we can dive into why I believe Sparking Zero made this battle happen in this teaser. So the probability that this is a random fight and somebody just made it randomly, I mean, yeah, this is a probability, but guys, I mean, this was really the only fight out of that teaser, or really any of them, that just seems so far-fetched and completely random. So I'm going to be showing you guys exactly why this fight was created. And that is to showcase the level of strength that Goten and Trunks will gain in the future, and how that is going to affect the Gotenks fusion, because it absolutely will. The other day I explained to you guys what exactly is happening to Broly and Kale when they control their legendary state. When they control their legendary state, this is the outcome, and you guys have been questioning why this is the case yourselves, because in the DBS manga we have Broly, who has controlled his state. He is weaker than what we would expect from the legendary Super Saiyan. Honestly, he's a lot weaker, presenting a lot weaker than the legendary Super Saiyan state that initially makes him go berserk. And that's what leads us to this moment right here, where Goten and Trunks are facing off against him, and why he is pulling back. And for those of you guys who watched my other video on Kale and Broly and their transformations after they control them, you guys already know the answer, but for you guys that don't, this is why this is the case. It is because Broly and Kale are now in the legendary Super Saiyan controlled state, meaning that they are basically just Super Saiyans. This is stated multiple times in the manga. When Goku and Frieza see Kale, when Beerus sees Broly, they can tell that they're basically just average Super Saiyans. They finally are able to go into the Super Saiyan state without going absolutely berserk. But Broly and Kale both, it's shown in the anime and the manga, can summon some of that berserker rage to them, similar to what Beast Gohan does to gain more power and break Ultra Instinct. But at the end of the day, they're just Super Saiyans, and that is why this right here is happening. Goten and Trunks, both in their base, are pushing back at the exact same time a basically normal Super Saiyan Broly. He doesn't have any extra strength there. He's not pulling from the Berserker or the Legendary. He is just a normal Super Saiyan. And Goten and Trunks, even though they're not in their Super Saiyan transformations, it is shown in the DBS prequel and in the DBS superhero arc that they are formidable and by far the strongest duo in the DBS canon. They are in perfect sync. This is showcased to us in the prequel arc where they become Saiyaman X1 and X2, and we get to see a little bit more of their characteristics, with Trunks being more of a leader but still being super supportive of Goten, and Goten being more of a wingman but still being super supportive to Trunks and still taking some sort of leading role. They are literally in perfect sync with each other, whether they are in costume or not in costume, and they have been fighting alongside each other for their entire lives. They are the perfect duo, and that is what this is showcasing, that the perfect duo just in base, Goten and Trunks, are pushing back just a normal Super Saiyan Broly Not saying that they're winning, I'm saying that they're pushing him back. That's why a lot of fans had that question, why is he getting pushed back? It is because he isn't really as strong as you would imagine he would be, or as he was before in that state. He's just able to control himself now and not destroy everything. While Goten and Trunks, it showcases a lot about their teamwork and how powerful they are, overwhelming somebody like Broly, who really honestly isn't very good at facing off against tag teams. I mean, he was struggling against the tag team of Goku and Vegeta in Dbs Broly. So with that being the case, the fact that Goten and Trunks together can kind of push Broly back like this in his Super Saiyan form, I would imagine that it is the exact same thing if they were facing off against a controlled Kale. And honestly, I'm going to take it one step further. I believe that Kefla is Kale already having that controlled state because of Caulifla. Because they fuse together and Caulifla is already a controlled Saiyan, she is able to basically control Kale at that point because they are fused together, because we never see Kefla actually go berserk on anyone. She is essentially a control Saiyan, meaning that it is quite possible that when Goten and Trunks fuse together as teenagers or even adults into Gotenks, an adult version of Gotenks, that Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks will be able to push back somebody like Kefla, because Kefla isn't really pulling that berserker rage to fall back on. She is extremely strong, but so is Gotenks, and Gotenks is more in sync with their partners. They have more unity together than Kale and Caulifla ever did or ever will have, because they don't fight together. Kale really wasn't fighting up until the tournament in the manga, and barely fought in the anime up until that point. So unless they train together from the Tournament of Power all the way up to the time period of Dragon Ball Super, they're going to be at the exact same level of unity than they were before. So hopefully what I'm saying is that they are setting up Gotenks to be the strongest fusion, and that is why they did that in the Sparking Zero trailer, or whoever cut that together understood that, because Gotenks is essentially the future. They've set him up already in the last arc of Dragon Ball Super's manga, and he's essentially what they're going to be focusing on when it comes to a powerful fusion, because Goku and Vegeta technically really aren't the best fused character, because Vegeta doesn't want to be fused with Goku, and at the exact same time they barely fight alongside each other, so they don't have that much skill in fighting alongside each other like Goten and Trunks do. All you need is to add like a little bit of God Ki, and basically you have the strongest fusion just on power, not just on strategy, technique, and unity. So you could say that I'm turning around on Gotenks because he was my least favorite character for so long, but I am liking what they are doing with those characters, and the fact that it is possible that Gotenks could be the strongest fusion here in the near future. We're probably going to be seeing him perfected, because remember in Dbs Superhero, they fused together, but because they hadn't fused in quite some time, they ended up messing it up, and they made Veku. So honestly, just on that information alone, I would say that Goten and Trunks would need to practice more fusion and then be able to face off against someone like Kefla after the Dbs Broly arc, maybe a few years after that. But I do think that they are on the trajectory to become the strongest. But let me know what you guys think. It's going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.